Check this out, guys. I want to introduce you to the Bolt Depot's thread gauges. So I've been playing around with them for quite a few minutes now. Internal thread screw gauge. It's cheap. US metric board, $4. That's cheap. So you guys snatch it up. Then you come over to what they call their L gauges, which I'm going to show shortly. Again, so what I'm showing in the video, cheap, $2.49, $2.49. No love lost, $5. And finally, I'm going to touch on these thread gauges here. They're metal, they're beautiful little ring around them, they're cable. My girl thought it was a necklace. She said, oh, they're such a pretty necklace. Okay. So they're pretty. They're women approved. Only $17 each, and you've got this nice little necklace. We'll go on to the video now. I see a lot of benefits with them. I have a few sets, but I'll just jump into one or two sets and compare this against this gauge, this metal gauge. Well, the metal gauge it's limited. All this stuff is limited. You have to buy multiple sets. Sorry about that. No way around that with any company. But this screws in beautifully into this metal gauge. Metal gauge is a pain to carry. It's huge. Quite often I forget I have it. But this, checking the threads on this from the Bolt Depot's company for the male and female, A and B, if you will. It's kind of technical in A and B, but let's just call it male and female as most people call it. This has a nice feel in this metal gauge that I have. In other words, testing this for fit, it's beautiful. I like it a lot. Now, you would simply just thread it in to check it. You wouldn't thread it in that far, but I went that far to check it. This is a nice little collar they give you with their system. The collar, of course, if you don't like the collar, you just cut it and figure out how to just, lay them around like a wrench or put them in a plastic bag if you so want to have like total spinning action all the time. I like the idea of you can quickly find the numbers, your measurements. So his 5/8 18 thread, his 5/8 11 thread. There we go, 5/8 11. There's 5/8 18. Let's go from there. I'll come back to those gauges another time. What I want to show you quickly is this board here. It's made of plastic, and initially I thought plastic. I'm not sure what I think about that, but now I do like it more than my metal gauge. My metal gauge, again, I forget I have it. It's a pain. It's not as mobile as that. Okay, with that said, it's plastic, so initially when they threaded it, perhaps when they painted or stamped it, the threads are correct, the numbers are correct. So in other words, this is a 1/4 20 thread, and it goes in beautifully. This, so if you do what I did, don't be hateful, because this is a higher quality thread than you typically run across, this one. But I put it inside here anyway, and it works great. It reamed out, reset the hole a little bit. You got to be careful with doing something like that. But nevertheless, the 3/8 is beautiful. It doesn't have any slop or play in it. Now, I won't put this in and out many times. This will be it for the video. This will not go in there again. So I'm going to slowly back it out straight. Speed is heat. It distorts bolts, whether you're in plastic, metal, aluminum, anything. This is why you should do it by hand and not your drivers. When you're taking this stuff out, those bolts are hot. You guys want to prove that? Run a screw into some wood, and then pull that screw out with your drill, and then grab hold of that screw, and you tell me what you feel. You can't hold it. Well, you're doing that to those threads too by using these power tools. Now, I do the same thing, so I'm guilty of that, but I won't go back immediately with a bolt, because that thread is heated up. Both of them are heated up, both surfaces. Now, I want to show you that I grabbed this nasty bolt. I want you to do this before you do things like this. Have a little cheap brush like that. It's got nylon on one, wire on the other. Now, before I attempted this 20 thread, you see I left behind some rust onto this material. Same thing with the metal. It's no way around it, but this cost of ownership is a lot cheaper than that metal one. Quarter by 20 is what it says. I line it up. Before I do that though, before I check any screw, I give it a good brush just where I need to go in. I don't need to do the whole brush yet. I just need to determine what screw I'm doing. Now it's nice and clean. You can brush it off too with the other side if you like. Now it's nice and clean. Before I do that, I'd like to have an idea of roughly what I'm talking about. So I go to the Bolt Depot's other product here first. And I say, oh, that's 5/8, 3/8, quarter. Quarter, it fits in nice. Okay, so there's a metric version of this too. And these threads are pretty close, but hopefully you'll better see that they're not close enough where you would think metric at this point. If it is, no big deal. You can resolve that also. Now I know I'm dealing with 1/4 inch. So I can look at the scale without trying to push it into it, because it's not a push tab. These are threads. So 1/4 inch. Now it's not saying it's going to have all the 1/4 inches on here, but here's the 1/4 inch 20 and the 1/4 inch 28. Well, there's the 28. Let's try that one first. I don't like that. It's not really threading. 1/4 20. Before I even do that, since I have a 1/4 20 and a 1/4 28, let's just go ahead and go to the scale again. There's the 20. There's the 28. Look at the fine teeth on the 28. Do they even have a resemblance of a match to you? Would they even look like it? Like they would match? I've got a cat that's going to jump up here, guys. If you guys are into cats, we're going to get a cat in the whole scene. So, all right, so that eliminates the 28. So we won't gull up the threads and mess those up. Our next choice is a 1/4 20. 1/4 20 looks pretty close. Checking the profile, it's pretty close. Now, these are plastic, so you're not going to get the sharpest of depth, but the cost of ownership is going to be cheap. So, so now we're looking like it's closer to 20. If you're not sure, bounce it around. So what's below 20? 18. Is it 18? Well, at 18, it doesn't even attempt to line up. At 20, it does. Now, for fairness, I use a shield like this. They're real cheap, you know, $10. And I check the threads that way. I want to show you something that's going to happen in a moment too, a mistake that you can mistakenly identify and how you remedy that. But here's the 20. Cat, go away. I don't want you in the video. So here's the 20. Let's see how it works. Ooh, sideways. Nope. 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 Okay, there we go. I'm just showing you that you line up. Now that's it. Don't once you're through, don't thread the whole thing, because you might have this junk that you didn't clean, messing up your plastic threads or metal threads if it was the case. So once you establish it, the sizing, you have it now. So this is a 1/4 20. 1/4 20. This is just like the photography, believe it or not. I could grab this 1/4 20. And 1/4 20, I'll grab this light here, see? That 1/4 20 is the same 1/4 20 as here. Look at that. Look at that. So you don't have to be fancy with some of your stuff. 1/4 20. That's the thread for photography, for you guys who like photography. This is going to be your photo thread. So there's your 1/4 20. Let's put that back in there for the sport of it. Let's take this one out. This right now I'm pulling out is a metric one. This is the metric side, and that is the U.S. standard side, if you will. U.S. standard. We'll say that to make it easy for everybody to understand. Same thing. First off, this is non-metric, but let's try it anyway. Uh-oh, doesn't fit 3/8. And you see how close that is not fitting 3/8? It's not even close. Now it's way off. So, okay. Maybe this is metric. You look at the back of the bolt and you see 4.8. When you see that 0.8 stuff, now you're dealing in metric. So then I grab the metric chart. So the Bolt Depot has color-oriented their product, so you don't make it easy for you. You want the metric one? You grab the metric. Okay, no, close. And now let's see where we go with the threads. Well, that seems like a perfect fit right there. I'm doing a voiceover because I actually call that a 10-125 when it's an 8-125. So now you get a voiceover on my on the same video, because right now I'm probably saying it's 10 multiple times. Interesting though that I'm doing the voiceover because I'm going to show you how it resolves my calling of the wrong number. I'm going to try it in the whiteboard now, and I'm going to point out the 10, 150, and when I go to use it, well, it doesn't line up. It doesn't work. But I'll put the tooling, the bolt inside, the screw bolt inside there. A miss. So it's the next step up, which is 125. 125 defaults at the 8 millimeters. So it's 8, 125, and that's a perfect match. And you see it threading in. 4 to 12 millimeter from the bolt depot. And let's just jump right, let's grab the leash, right? Grab the leash. So interesting enough, I'm going to leave this part in. You'll see me go with this 10-125. And you do have a 10-125, but you'll see it won't work, and I'll resolve it as you'll see. 12. This is present, 10-125. Let's grab the back of this, but before doing that, since we already have a bolt on here, I want to suggest this to you. Look how nicely that moves. Alright, and then we check it for play, slop if you will. Well, it's not the greatest connection. That's really sloppy. This company that makes this bolt, it's not Bolt Depot. That's a class 2 connection. It's really low on a totem pole, so you wouldn't be doing that on your engine parts. But what I'm going to suggest is that you grab the nut and see if it works. Oh, it doesn't work there. Ooh, look at that. That is nice. Now, as I pull up and down on this, to comparing what's going on here, the bolt has some slop in it. This is going to be on the money I'm going to work with. Let's compare again. Now, the two of these together have even more slop in it. The manufacturing of this bolt, like I said. Nothing to cry about. Let's pull this one out. This one's quite rusty. That can leave rust back inside your product. You want to make sure that you can at least blow it out. Perhaps even put WD-40 in it, because you're not going to be torquing these. It will help you confirm thread. Now let's go ahead and confirm thread this way. Nice. So let's look at that. That says 10-125. The other side of it is this guy. The reason why I like the idea of using the nut if it's available, because you don't have to worry about clogging this up or gulling this up as much. You'll be able to clean the outside of this a lot easier than that if it does gull up. When I say gull up, I really mean like foul up with using bolts like this. Now, you would do the same thing with this guy. So you already know now that this is the 10. You can slip that on there. Alright. Feels good. Feels good. Same troubleshooting. This is the 10, I'm sorry. It's an M8 125 millimeters, but it's called an M8 125. So here's your M8 125. I'll come the other direction to show you. And there you go. Nice and snug in there. That's a really nice fit. That's really a nice fit. So there's your confirmation of your usage of these guys, and here it is again. We went around the rosy a little bit there, showing you your different connections on this one. I'll show you more of these products in another video. I just wanted to give you a little sample of this video. Don't screw that down. I'm just playing. So now there you are. M8 125. 1/4 inch. 20. 1/4 20. These guys are pretty darn nice. They give you a BoltDepot.com scale, inches and millimeters. Now moving on. This is very important to talk about this guy here. I have one it's another metric. 10.9 it says. That's the strength of the bolt, its rating. And look how nice that spins. I'm giving you a false impression here. I'll take it all the way out to the edge and bring it all the way back again. Very easy. Very easy. So you're like, oh yeah, this is a home run. Alright, I'm going to lay that here. This is going to be an issue. Let's grab the bolt still. The nut rather. And let's just randomly, there it works right there, randomly. And let's verify it. That's the M8125. M8125, beautiful. Right? Same one. No hocus pocus. I'm going to put it right over top of this guy. Spin it in. Now that is the same as what we just took out. This is the same guy, the one we took out a moment ago. No secret stuff here. Watch what I do. I'm going to place it over top of that one, right? Beautiful. Alright, still the same thing. So now if you're using the card, this is what I want to bring your attention to. If you use the card to verify this, this is the same one as I just took out, the M8125. It doesn't thread. It's got a lot of resistance. So I don't like that. Let's put that down again. Let's grab the other one and let's turn it in. That's how she should thread in. If she's not threading in as easy as pie like that, you've got to clean your threads. Don't use galvanized in here. This is not a galvanized. Galvanized is a different measurement. It'll mess things up. So once again, that's giving me too much resistance. Too much resistance. So what's going on there? This bolt is junk. Let's see if I can show you. It's fouled up. It's got a defect within the first thread here. It's been used, apparently it's been used, and this first thread, if you inspect it before you start just threading in there, you look at your starter threads, you'll see this thing is just crushed or deformed. This guy right here. And so you see that overlapping too? It is closed almost at that point from there to the next, from the, say the second to the third thread. As I rotate around, it may look like it's a little better. Over here, they got nice spacing. But my initial starting point is junk. So, I didn't do this. If I did, you would see a fresh mark on it. I didn't create this bolt. It discovered itself in my in this video I'm making. So right there, that's closed up. This bolt should not be used anywhere. Not on steel. Don't say, well, I can use it on... It's junk. It's junk. Unless you plan on retapping that, it's trash. Has no purpose. Don't use your gauge here to try to see if you can undo the thread. So don't go to the 10. This is not what this is designed for. You have to get a tap if you plan on salvaging this nut. I mean this bolt. So 10-125. I'm just going to give you an idea. So here's 10-125. And let's go ahead and grab 10-125. This one. Oops. Guess that was wrong. 10-125 right here. Let's pull this one out. Very little bit of threading. Now I said you should clean and check. So this is always handy. Clean and check, because you don't want to foul this guy up. And just because I put it down, I'll check it, give it a quick look. The threads look, I'll rotate it around using my hand as the back. The threads look pretty spaced pretty nicely. Let's give it a shot. That's how she should go in there. Now the first time out, the inner threads, you might have to clean them up a bit with your sacrificial bolt. I didn't have to do that with these lower guys. But you can look in there, you can look into your threads with a bright light to check out what you're doing there. You can look into the threads with a bright light, and if you've got to clean them up, if you happen to have a tap, clean it up. Clean it up. You know, this is mass produced. Don't be afraid. Don't take offense that if you got to clean it up first, or this will be your servicing tool sometimes to clean it up if you start gulling it up or stacking it up with, say, this keep checking MH, for example, and you're like, this is getting nasty in there. Throw some lubricant in there. grab a tap, the same size tap, screw it down there, screw it out, clean it out, and you're back up and running again. That's also why I like the outer part of this for that nut check, because we can see the threads a lot more than internal. By nature, that's going to always be like that as far as your inspections. So here we go. We'll get rid of that guy, and this is another one of their nice products at the Bolt Depot. So what do we check out there? So far we checked out the 4 to 12 millimeter. Not checked that. We sampled the metric gauge and the standard gauge. I'll show more, like I said, but right now I just wanted to run that through you. One last. So if you're starting off and you don't want to spend a little bit of money for this, it's not that much. At least buy these 3 here to have carrying around in your toolbox, because you do not want to be bothered with trying to figure out what bolt it is and everything else, running around to this store and that store. You can go online. You're busy in the weekend, you can just order from the Bolt Depot, and you can call them on the phone and they'll ship it out to you, and you can just stay productive